Welcome to another day in the life of Adam Steigert. I'm your host, Adam Steigert, of course, and I'm pimping Willy's Wonderland shirt. It's a little bit worn now, which kind of sucks because I don't think these are in circulation anymore. But for the next hour, I'm going to talk to you about movies and interviews that were recently done, and I'm going to share some exclusive looks at things. But I'm also going to share some photos. Don't get too excited on all the exclusive type stuff because this does not. We're not there yet to what is it called? Share the OMBIS2 trailer. I know there's a lot of individuals that have asked me about OMBIS2, and really, I can't tell you a date yet on when this first official teaser trailer is going to come out. But I can tell you this: it's going to be worth the wait. Um, it's a very hard film to have made, and I never realized how hard it was until I actually started making it. So one of the things that I realized that the digital work has been totally tough. And for those that don't know, making films and being a podcaster, if this one even considered at the moment, or even talking on YouTube for one or two times makes me first off any type of famous, and second off, this isn't my normal job. I do this as fun, you know. My wife would call it a very expensive hobby, is what she would say. I don't really make money in any of this. In fact, I probably lose money, but I put a lot of people to work. Okay. Um, and you know what? This isn't, like I said, this is not my day job, but I am trying to uh, bring something new to independent film. And this film, Ombis 2, that I've been really pumping out for the last 3 years now, is almost at its end. And whenever you see a movie like on the screen for the first time, when you're a director, it's a very different experience. Now, I've shared this with only a few very close friends. One is that there are several different seats in the theater you as a director should experience your film in. I've had the privilege and an opportunity over the years to be able to sit in various different locations because I've done a couple films and I've gotten many theatrical limited releases, mainly local, nothing worldwide, international, that I'm aware of. I'm sure China made some money off of it somewhere. Somebody did tell me Ombis One was bootlegged in China a long time ago. I don't have anything political to say about that. We got to come to. I mean, two countries need to come to terms already. It's like so many different generations. But anyways, I'm getting off the track for today. Okay, one day we should talk about Willy's Wonderland, which I know Five Nights at Freddy's and all that, and how this was kind of like a little bit of a rip off of it. I will say that you know I enjoyed this one better. I mean, is that fair to say? And for those that don't know, that is a werewolf behind me wearing a, excuse me, that is a Batman behind me wearing a werewolf, thanks to James Gunn, because James Gunn, in my opinion, is not not my favorite. I'll say, okay, not my favorite. I wish him well with his upcoming movie, that new Superman movie, but I will not be endorsing it or seeing it. Um, I just don't like what DC's become. But that's its own story. You know what I'm saying? Like that's its own thing. So, a couple of things I want to talk about today. We're gonna watch a couple interviews that happened, and I just want to respond to some of what the actors said because it's just so unique to hear these opinions. And then I'm also going to talk about the Thunderbolts, the new Marvel movie. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. And Thunderbolts, just a foreshadow. Interesting story to be had about the Thunderbolts, something that will be memorable in the Steigert legacy for all to come. So I really cannot wait to share that with you. So without further ado, and I'll say this only once, we have one goal. I'm trying to set one single goal. If we can raise anything in this stream, I will have us, meaning 388 Studios, release something from OMBIS2 that is worth the wait. Okay, we saw an Ombis slime creature scene with actually this character right here, Emma's character of yeah, I can't remember at the moment. Excuse me, the younger version of April. And I will tell you, the younger version of April, she does well. We're gonna watch it and find out more. And by watch it, we're gonna only watch a little bit of it. So don't get too excited. You can watch these full videos. Let me just get it set. You can watch full video on the YouTube channel.
Mine's been great.
Not too bad.
So I want to learn about you've changed significantly.
I have changed.
April's a bit new to the Ombis movies, and you know, my character, you just get to see a little glimpse of the stuff that April's been dealing with in Metzburgh through all the crazy alien attacks and how she overcomes it throughout the rest of the film.
What was the
Pause. Like, first off, Emma Gillis, terrific talent. She is somebody that's an up and comer in Buffalo, New York. She had more action scenes than most of the characters in the film. When you see the film, OMBIS2 that is, the one thing you are going to realize is it's not going to be a CGI film that you're going to be like, oh, this is super cheese. You know, like I think of it as, you know, the Transformer movies that had those like silly knockoffs. We're talking better quality than that for OMBIS2. Like it is such a unique experience. I've spoken about this before, but I have really bad anxiety. Seriously crippling, massive. I mean, it's bad. So a lot of times I get to do things so quickly, like push out product or push out videos or pictures or whatever, because like I have to be creating, I have to be doing something, you know? So, this young actress, Emma Gillis, like I said, she is going places. That was like one of her first answers to like any general question. Like this is a press interview, and this young talent is I don't want to even say young, because I know when you get into your teens, you don't want to be considered young, so you're not. You're just younger than me, okay? And so don't take offense to that. If anybody's out there younger than 38 or older than 38, there is no age shaming. It's just, you know, with different ages, you get different, like, I like to call them like level ups, you know? Like you get to drink beer and alcohol at 21, you know, smoke I think is at 18. I think weed's at 21 now. I'm not even sure what that is all about. But nonetheless, let's move on. I want to talk about the scene that almost has 1 million views on YouTube right now, which is Emma's scene, actually. One of the first teaser clips that we release. She gives us a little bit of a back look or flashback, if you will, at it. Here's what she had to say.
the most memorable scene or moment from filming?
Well, filming was incredibly memorable, especially working with a blue screen and doing stunts, which I haven't done. And so I'd say probably my favorite, I had like a whole Ombis creature like on top of me, and I had to fight him off with that bat, and it was really fun. It was like you got like all that in your face action. It was really like a different experience.
Same
This scene has almost 1 million views on it as of recording this May 3rd, 2025. I can't wait to see what it has in the future because, like, this scene is just the start of some intense, crazy stuff. I think of like the first act of Ombis 2. If I had to compare, and I do not like comparing films to other films, but in the flavor of, okay, I would say Evil Dead 2, of course, with the Dawn of the Dead remake. Okay. Dawn of the Dead remake, great movie, terrible remake. We'll have a conversation one day about that. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree with that. And really think about what I mean in that question, too. Because you got to really think about it. All right. So that was her response to this. But she really got goopy. So we'll just keep going here with the theme.
Question for you, Alex. What was the best part of the movie for you?
Oh, wow. Well, coming back, I would just say the best part was just.
I love Alex's laugh, just so
working
everybody's
with
aware.
Everybody.
I love Alex's laugh.
Getting back into the world because it was different, and then returning like, what was it, like 10, 12 years later, is crazy, and the fact that people are actually.
Lindsay Zazada took that photo. True story. We're gonna pause for a
second.
second. She was a big like producer on Ombis 1. And man, I so tried to get so many producers back, and let me correct myself, not producers. I tried to get back so much original connections that I had because I'm doing Ombis 2. I had more free reign to do things. And we're on Ombis 1, I was kind of like, I wasn't set back or pulled back or anything like that. The project and the people were amazing at the time, but I mean, the full potential just I wasn't able to do. And to come back to a film, almost 12 years later, by the time it releases, or very close to it, um, you don't have that option very, very often, and especially in independent films. Seriously. So listen to what he has to say on this.
Yeah.
What has Mr. Gray been doing then for the last 10 years?
Mr. Gray has been plotting and stewing and just biding his time for the right moment.
I can't wait to see what happens with
I
his character.
know, right? I'm excited too.
Okay, Emma. Where did you hear about the role?
I don't really remember where I heard about the role, but I remember lots of emailing back and forth with Adam, and shortly after, like, I thought that this project was like perfect for me, and it's just honestly, even though I don't know how I
This
got here, I'm
car
really grateful
scene.
that
Let
I
me
am.
stop.
Awesome.
I'll let her finish. We'll back up and I'll let her finish. But this car scene, I have to tell you that this car scene is amazing. These two actresses now, Emily is the co-star here, Emily Quinn, and you'll find out what happens with her character, but she is such a badass character. I wish we would have given her a little more like action to do in the film too, because sometimes when you work with talent and you see so much potential, and you are like, well, I want to dabble more in that, but you have like a schedule, a script, you're on a budget and all that. Sometimes you can't get to it. You have to focus on the main shots that you need for a film. This scene, though, is one of my personal favorites. The way it was shot, the acting, I mean, it's just the coloring looks amazing. Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Honestly, even though I don't know how I got here, I'm really grateful that I did.
That's awesome. You've worked with Adam before, so what was it like to see how has he transitioned in the last 13 years as a director?
Yeah, a lot has changed, and he's grown. Stories have become more complex.
I'm gonna pause it
Um,
here. This is another good. Oh no, I will let him talk again, and I so did that. Let me bring it back up. But this is a little sneak peek right here, y'all. This is the Nemesis and Mr. Gray meeting for the first time in Ombis 2. I have not released the high resolution yet of this, besides the version of that interview that they did. Um, but when you see it, man, it is something to be seen. I mean, the actors are so involved in the world, and the characters are like, oh, the, like when I started thinking about how we would do a sequel and like which characters should be returned or should return, one of the things that I definitely did was think of the best actors I've ever worked with, because I'm like concerned that this film will probably be one of my last films that I'll direct. And unless an Ombis 3 comes along. No, I'm just kidding. That's a whole different talk anyways, guys, so let's not get on that. But yeah, it was, you don't see Mr. Gray spot on in this, and you won't see Mr. Gray spot on in any trailers. And you don't really get a close-up look at Mr. Gray. Of course, you can zoom in if you so desire, but I will tell you what, he's badass, and I am so grateful Alex returned to do this movie. So let's let him finish speaking on. I don't know. I think he was stroking my ego for a moment. So let's just get an insert of that.
Flex. Uh, I feel over time, you once you figure things out, you kind of like find your groove, and he's worked himself into his little groove.
He's found his groove. That's
Yeah,
great to hear. Emma,
yeah.
what did you find most exciting about it?
Yeah, well, when I first read the script, I just enjoyed seeing April's whole character arc and getting to see like her past trauma through my character, but also like seeing her adult life and how she teams up with Haley and learns that she was never really alone with all this stuff, and that someone is also as empathetic to all of this going on as she was, and finding her like confidant in that. And I thought that was really great.
Was it hard to
Wow, man, this young actress, excuse me, young actress, I can get away with that. She is impressive. She has these responses down, and she knows how to articulate them in a way that you should do, and always, like, you should really make sure that when you are doing interviews, you articulate, when you're an actor, a couple things: full names of people you work with, okay, full titles of films you've done, okay, uh what else, you know over embellish, let the people know what the role meant to you, because everybody starts somewhere, and a lot of people, believe it or not, in Buffalo, New York, started on Ombis 1. And we're going to get into this a little bit later, but I had an opportunity this past weekend to go to a party with the one and only Queen, Erica Fraze. And she was doing a fundraiser. I don't think they released the numbers yet on what it raised, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'll check before the stream's over. But I just want to take a pause and step back. We, as filmmakers, need to start having cast interviews like this. We have to get our audience to start to connect with the people that are the faces of our films, whatever your film is. Interviews and behind the scenes are probably the most important things that one should have for filmmaking. But let's just keep going.
play a character that already exists, that you're playing the young version of that character? Did you find that difficult? Like you had to model a certain way or be a certain way?
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to find like the perfect way to like, be that like mature adult character in a way, but not be her, but like see how it leads up to her, because you do see a lot of April like being older in this film. So getting to find a little bit less
I
of
mean,
the
come on,
maturity,
guys.
but also like staying grounded as well is definitely a lot.
She blows me away. She blows me away. And when we were working together on set, Emma and the crew and I don't know what she expected, to be honest with you, because she got there and there was a lot of people underneath a deck, which happened to be, part of a playground, where you can go and rent a facility, like one of those. And there's just this big ass blue screen wall. Um, and there's these buckets of slime and stuff. And I think she knew it was a horror movie and stuff. And I just don't know if I don't know how prepared she was because, I mean, mentally, because when she left, I mean, meaning set, when she left set, she was covered in head to toe, um, head to toe,
That's great.
makeup
Can you
and
tell us a little bit
ick.
about Mr. Gray's makeup process?
Oh, here we go, Mr.
Oh
Gray.
wow!
And you get another good first look at
So
him.
I get to wear contacts, which is fun. I put those in myself. I'm actually one of the few actors that likes being like in makeup because I just feel like it just helps me like really
Get into the
get
character
into the
and things.
character.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the change from it was like in the first one I was just like regular, and then I got kind of gloopy towards the end, and I got some. I'm still kind of gloopy, but I got some. I got some nice little accoutrements.
All right, I'm pausing it for you all to get a great look. Let me turn the captions off, but look at that, Mr. Gray. This is him straight on. I mean, it is this scene that you're seeing him in. Okay, me and Alex have a long history. The Mac Attack. Okay, he did a film called Homicidal Vengeance, which is also on my YouTube channel here. It's also streaming everywhere, so you can just look that up if you're interested. But in that, he played, a brute soldier, and he was on Vengeance, and his clothes started ripping, and eventually we got to see him topless. He was also so well structured and built as Devin in Prisoners of the Dead that when we got to this film, I pulled him aside. I said, Alex, I said, "Are you willing to bring the Mac back?" And he had a couple months to prep on that. So I'm not really sure if he what his prep was, but I remember him telling me that when he was doing Homicidal Vengeance, he was just eating chicken all the time. And then we were on set for one of the sets, the first set, and we all had pizza. So he was like on the strict diet, and I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at the irony of like I didn't know that. If I was to look back now, I might have had a better hindsight of that. It's something you learn as you go as a filmmaker. But let's hear a little more about what he has to say.
On there, the makeup process, and I've sat through some long ones and some short ones. This was a pretty quick process. I had some appliances, a little bit of airbrushing here and there, but yeah,
Not as painful as people might
not
think.
as painful as before. Didn't take me as long to get everything off, and I've worked on projects when I've been like completely covered in like clown white,
Yeah.
and you'd be surprised, but you're still finding clown white like months later. So
It's hard to get off.
It is really hard to get off. So this was good.
Emma, you got slimed a lot.
I did.
Here she
What was
is.
it like to get the slime, the feeling of the slime, and getting the slime off you, and things like that when it came to the end of the
Oh
film?
God.
Yeah, the slime was definitely a lot. I was covered in it head to toe by the end of the day, but it really
This wasn't even the
wasn't
worst of it either.
bad. I found it
That
kind of
shot that
enlightening.
was just
I
seen.
felt like I was kind of in my character and like in these situations, so it kind of helped me like explore my character in a way, because like if I was just not covered in slime, how would I know what it'd be like for an alien to just like get that all over me.
Makes sense. It's been great to talk to you guys today.
All right, well, there's that interview. You know, I'm not going to watch all the interviews, of course. I'm not going that extreme into it. But I did want to point out one more. This one's a short one. So hang on one second. Okay. This cracks me up because Alex and I really, there was a whole group of us that started kind of like together, and we all were split apart, but we started coming together. It started like forming the Buffalo film community. And I don't know if a lot of people know that. And what really kicked the film community off was the Facebook group that I created with Chris Burns, um, called the Buffalo Film Extras. You know, we started having like Sony Pictures and Disney and all different indie studios and mid-grade studios posting in there. Um, and now it has almost 10,000 original, like authentic users that cast can go to, because Buffalo is a haven when it comes to films right now. So here's this, and then we're gonna move on to our next topic. But it's only 30 seconds long, and it's still funny. And I just think you should let's see here. I just think you should get a laugh on it. Okay, so check it out.
I wish I was early on.
Back in my day.
Back in the day when I started way back, actually in
This is all orange groves.
back in 2007, man, let me tell you, the independent film scene in Buffalo was much different, Sonny.
But it has been, because you
Yeah, it
brought up a
has.
good point, because I mean the acting scene in Buffalo has evolved and changed so much.
It has.
You know, since you entered acting.
It
you know,
did. I wish I was early on.
All right, so that lovely lass there that you saw at the end was my wife, Kristen Lestigert. Oh, and there's Dawn of the Dead remake poster. It's short, but I just want to pull that back up because she is so adorable. I just want to show her off again. There she is, Kristen Steigert. She didn't want to do it, folks. I asked her for weeks if she wanted to do it, and finally she said yes. And I was so excited because Kristen is such a good speaker, and she's so talented. She is so incredibly smart, Kristen. I can, like, sometimes I don't like, how do I say, I don't know how somebody of my educational level could be with somebody of her intelligence, excuse me, because she is so intelligent. Anyways, that's the story of my wife. Let's get on to the next like thing, if you will, and we will go to that next. Okay, so stay with me. All right, we're back, guys. Thunderbolts. This is the review. You're gonna either hate me or you're gonna love me. All right. I don't think I'll try and do too many spoilers, but I will leave them towards the end, if the end of this segment. So I'll give you a warning if necessary. Even though to me, knowing certain things does not ruin the entire experience of the movie. But if it does for you, you'll want to back out. I'll give you a general synopsis. A bunch of these anti-heroes are being extinguished, and they need to understand why. That is the very, very quick version of this story. I'm going to tell you, I rated it an 8. My wife rated it an 8. My grandfather, who went and saw it with us, rated it an 8. This film is rather special because the first night we went, on opening night, that's one of the things that me and my wife and my grandfather occasionally do now. And we used to do it for like all the other Avenger films. But, recently we've kind of gotten burned out because the stories have just been so lackluster. And you know, one of the things that we really wanted to see was just a good damn film. And we all rated it eights. Obviously, it does have a little fat in certain sections, but I could live with the fat. Now, I can live with the fat. There are people that can't live with that fat, and you know what? That's a shame that they can't disconnect from that. Disconnect from that. You know. Um. So yeah, a very good overall story. Um. I would tell you that uh, Florence Pugh, I think is her name. How you pronounce it? Amazing. She was an amazing actress in this movie. I want to say she might have been close to my favorite. She is really filling in for Scarlett Johansson in this movie in a sense. Yes, we're going to the next generation and stuff. Like I get that, and I'm excited for that. But even to see her working with her father, the Red Guardian, very very interesting. Like the whole concept. Thankfully, I was getting that reflection in my. It was starting to drive me crazy. Anyways, Thunderbolts. I gave it an 8. Couple things I really loved was the story structure. Marvel's been really having a tough time with story structure as of late, and I'm just glad that they have kind of stepped up a little bit here because there's there's no such thing as a bad movie. Um, it's all in the eyes of the viewer, if you will. It is all in the eyes of the moviegoer. So what could be bad to me could be amazing to you, and vice versa, and that's fair, totally fair. Um, anyways, Thunderbolts. First night we went on the opening night, and the power went out. The first time you saw the Sentry, and it was just crazy. I like it was literally a fight sequence, which I thought was like towards the end of the film. By the way, come to find out, it wasn't. It was like it still had like 40 minutes left, but the power went out, and we didn't see what happened with the rest of the movie. It was like what? It was a thunderstorm in the local area, so we had to, leave the building. I got my 82-year-old grandfather almost walking in the dark and stuff. They refunded the money. Regal does take care of their people. So shout out to Regal. But yeah, so we went home, and I was just kind of like really disappointed because we were all talking the hype of it, like where it was going to, what it could have been. And then I got to a point, like personally, I got to a point like, do I just go online and try and watch the spoiler stuff and just give it all up? Or did I enjoy the story strong enough to want to know more and, go back and actually watch it? Because in theory, I didn't get charged for the first tickets, and I saw the first, I don't know, half of the film probably. And I do want to support cinema. So I said, yeah, let's try again. So we went today, which is Saturday, 2 days after the release, and went and seen it again. And we got to that scene, and I was like, no, don't you dare go out on us again. And thankfully, it didn't, and we were able to enjoy the rest of the film, and it was quite a good time. I enjoyed it. Favorite character, I would probably have to go with, Florence Pugh, as I said before. She really does not Bucky, Sebastian Stan, like their story arcs, they're so strong in this one to me. Obviously there's loosey goosey stuff in here, there's still some Marvel screw ups, but not in the sense of taking yourself out of the world of disbelief. And that is really what you go for when you want to see a movie. Is you want to see a movie that makes you, go away from the normal mundane of society. However, like, short story here, the main villain, that Defane character, Defontaine, whatever. Yeah, she's got the duh in it. And if you've seen the film, you know what I mean. Um, she's got that in it, and she has oh yeah, she's getting like impeached or something. And it's not really a big spoiler because the movie takes like precedent, or not precedent, is surrounded by this impeachment story. And she I want to insert that like robot chicken uh clip that talks about M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist! She's impressive. She's impressive. She knows how to play it. It's impressive to me. And I actually kind of like her as an actress, Louis Dreyfus, I believe it is, and she was really good. Now, let's just talk briefly on spoilers. Can we talk spoilers for a minute, or should I not do that? Because I don't want to get too crazy for you. It's opening weekend still, but I mean, if you are watching this video, you're clearly on the hype train, and know that this film did deliver on a lot of more aspects than my anticipation was. It really builds up the hype for me to see the Fantastic Four more, to be honest with you. I won't tell you why in that regard if you haven't seen the film, but I will also say that the chemistry between all the characters and the actors really worked. It's a different type of Marvel film, um, with the most unlikely group of people you would put together, which is obviously something that always makes a great story, right? But yeah, um, the ending of the film, they done did it, guys. They done did it. The Sentry is pretty awesome too. I like the guy that plays him. I can't remember his name at the moment, and I'm not gonna look it up. But he was in the other. I gotta do it. I can't be disrespectful. I know how it is when you're an actor and all that. Uh, I know. Bear with me. Bear with me. I can't believe it because this, he is just an up and comer. This guy, he did the movie with Tom Cruise. What the hell is his name? Lewis Pullman. Yeah, he was in Top Gun Maverick, and very, very talented, very, very talented actor. He had much range, and they originally wanted the guy from Walking Dead that played Gwen, who played Glenn, to play him, and I can't see it. This guy, this Lewis Pullman, he played it so good. I do hope that he becomes more of a staple inside the MCU for a bit, because that would be interesting. But he is like, I think he might be the most uh, powerful being in the entire. I mean, I know people talk about the Phoenix Force and all that and whatever to that. I don't, I don't see the. I mean, obviously the Phoenix Force and all that is hype. That's huge. It's not. I'm not trying to discredit it. Don't get me wrong, your friends. It is totally a force to be reckoned with. But I will tell you, this guy. I mean, I don't know if he has the total power to like end the world. I don't know if he has that power. It's interesting because if you know about the Sentry has a character that's a part of him called the Void, and that is kind of where some of his powers come from. And I don't know. I mean, you know, we've gotten so like trippy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that you know, you got multiverses, you have multiple dimensions. You know, you can be atomized all the way down to like something that you can't really even make out as far as like Ant-Man and stuff is concerned. But you have people that can disappear. You have people with claws that come out of their hands. Wolverine, obviously. Okay. So film is really important to me. We got to see it with my grandfather. Um, and I'll show you that. Maybe. Hopefully the stream does not cut out. Okay, cool. So this is us going to dinner. Um, and that was after the movie. So yeah, that was a really great experience. And my grandfather doesn't smile very much, and I did get a picture with him smiling. However, he he doesn't have the full mouth wear anymore. I guess you could say, and um, I think he's subconscious about it. And I just told the world. So, anyways, let's move on from it. Um, this is like a tradition that we often do. Um, is the next slide. Okay, so we always get photos in front of the posters. Me and my wife have done it for a long time. Have we done it for every film? Probably not, but most films. And you know, we for the last year, Chris and I have been taking my grandfather on trips and all that. Not like vacation trips or anything, but like little movie trips or going places, because he does have a form of cancer. Um, and we want to give him as much life and love as humanly possible. The man is my icon. I can't tell you or describe to you what this man means to me as a human being, but it's a good way to remember the time that you have with individuals by having these photos put together. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. And this gets into some of how my week went. Ba-boom. Oh, it didn't do it when I did it. There it is. There are many photos coming out from this event. And they're not all released yet. You can't release everything, but you can release certain things from time to time. And this photo really sums up the energy for OMBIS2, which is really quite great. And the cast had a blast at this like press thing. I'm just like, give me something fun. And they did all the what they had to do. And then Paige came to me and she said, "There's a shopping cart here." I go, "Yeah." Well, I mean, okay. There's a shopping cart here. Uh, and I was like, "Okay, so what do you want to do with it?" She goes, "I want to sit in it and just be, driven around the studio." And I said, and then take photos, obviously, right? I mean, that's what she wanted was photos with it, of course. And I was like trying to figure out what she wanted at first. I felt like I was like an oldie there for a second. Oh, don't judge me. But really cool event that we went to was the press release, and there's so many more coming out. This is another photo that you're about to see from that press release. Again, Paige Cummings as Haley Greenheart. This is a role she was born to play. Aaron Fitzgerald played young Haley, and she played her, amazingly. I would have loved to have worked with her again. This was not going to be the project that was, but the only reason, well, I don't want to say the only reason because that would be really a lot to say, but one of the main reasons I even started doing OMBIS2 was because of Paige Cummings. like she did like 3 or 4 auditions, and they were just amazing. And someday we'll watch them together. Hopefully, she won't mind. But yeah, so there's that photo that we just saw. Now to show you something else, just from the week, more or less. Excuse me. And this just kind of tells us a little bit of like how the week went, what the week looked like, so to speak. And it was such a blast because you have this young actress, Emma Gillis, next to these veterans here. Well, I'll say Alex is a veteran. I'm not knocking Will. He's still a veteran. He's done his dues. Okay. He is just Alex is just a touch more seasoned. I gotta say it like that. Um, uh, Will, don't hate me, man. I love you. It's just Alex has been in the game just a touch longer, and but Will, he is he's really making a name for himself, and I really think that the Obi character is going to be a character that uh, audiences are going to really resonate with. Um, more so than I ever thought. Watching the film the way it is currently, I'm impressed with it. You can't take your eyes off of the action that comes from the OB storyline. There's so many good subplots, and that is one that is really great. We're just going to keep moving on here as we come to the end here. Just another promo photo of the notorious Mr. Gray and Jason John Beebe returning as Mark. And yeah, what a unique, fun time this was. More photos are coming, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I mean, I would tell you to. I just heard somebody singing outside. At least I hope it was somebody singing. It could have been like a truck. Anyways, big difference, I guess, right? So the last thing I'm going to talk about tonight, and then we're going to sum it all up, and we're going to end the stream, is an event I went to yesterday, which was hosted by the one and only Erica Fraze. Erica Fraze, I adore her. She is one of the really, I don't want to say, like, she was very instrumental in helping the Buffalo film community come together many different ways. And it's not just this project that we're talking about right now, but she hosted a fundraiser. I'm a little bit drunk in this photo. I don't normally drink, but I was drinking that night. I'm going to show you some more talent that is out here. Just give me a second. A little slow on the zoom, on the crossfade, if you will. Chris Shear, another talented individual in the Buffalo area that I've had the ability to work with and get to know a little bit. We're not the closest. We don't know each other super close, but we do know each other very well. The 48-hour film festival helped us, connect, and that's why I do believe the 48 is such a that's why I believe the 48-hour film project, excuse me, is so important to like filmmakers in general. It tests you on different ways. I enjoy seeing what people can do underneath like strenuous circumstances. I haven't done it, and I won't do it. I don't need to prove myself to anything. I've made my share of films, and I've done shooting films, meaning shooting it throughout the whole day for 24 hours before, and I know that process sucks. And to make a good film and to edit it and stuff, I mean, that's the game. That's the challenge. You got to be ready for the challenge. You got to want to play the game. I'm not here to look and play the game. I'm just here to story tell. But I, would recommend anybody that is interested in getting into film look at the 48 as a starting point. Maybe not the the entrance point, but a starting point for yourself. Let's show some more photos. This is a good one I got coming up here. I adore this man. I adore this man. This is Bill Buffon. Buffon, excuse me. Oh my God. Let me say it again. Phil Buffon. Talented individual. I'm going to release his scene this week, the week of, what is it? The week of May 9th, 2025, a short scene from OMBIS2. So I'm hoping that we can finish raising the remaining balance, or the remaining deficit, I should say, on the Indiegogo campaign. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's some photos, okay? Here's some photos of some talented individuals I met. Now, these photos are still, how do you want to say, developing. So I can work fast, but I can't work fast enough sometimes. So the first photo that you're seeing here is with Shelby Lynn Kelly. And she is a young actress out of Buffalo who really, I think, has caught the eye of a lot of people in the indie scene, and very talented. I've seen a couple little tidbits of her work, and then to get to meet her in person, it felt natural. And overall, she just seemed like she was a class act, and she knows how to make a good film. And you can get those vibes pretty quickly from people sometimes. But let's go to another photo. Let's see. Showed that one. No, not that one. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, folks. If anybody knows me, you'll know that this next photo that's coming up here, Jordan Lemer and me, is like, he is an amazing person to me. He's always treated me well. He is one of the members of the Buffalo 48-Hour Film Festival, and he is also somebody that is extremely talented. He has his own studio in Buffalo. He's doing commercials and things, more corporate than any type of film related, because he knows where the money's located. It's not an indie. But man, his studio impressed me every time I go there. So if you're somebody in the Buffalo area looking for a place to go, you should check out Jordan's studio. It is definitely worth a look at. Another photo coming up from somebody that I met for the first time there in person. And I want to make sure I say her name right, but I always worry about murdering people's names. So this is Madison Zabara. Zabara. Zabawa. Zabawa. Zabra? Oh boy. It's going to come back to haunt me, folks. But Madison was an amazing talent too. I've been following kind of off and on. What really drew her attention to me, and I'll post it up here somewhere, is her interview she did on Tee It Up with Phil and Cindy. That is where I started to really learn about her and know where her talents lie. Somebody now that I want to try and get to work with, hopefully in my career. But somebody that, with the right pursuant, could go very, very far. And I wish her the best of luck. Okay, a cliche picture coming up, everybody. Because another Adam Steiger, posse, I don't know if you want to call it that, but team, Jason John Beebe, he's like a brother from another mother. He did OMBIS2. He was there. It was cowboy themed, this event, hosted by Eye Catching Events. So I didn't wear mine, but everybody else wore theirs, and you can see why I look like the odd man out. But it's okay. I want to show you my favorite photo from this week, and that features, ready, set, and Emma Gillis. This was us at the studio. She had a break and we just got a quick shot. I'm like, hey, go sit in that pink chair, because I'm all about color. I love color, and you can see how well the color turned out. And well, there's her shot. It's pretty good. Very happy with that. I really enjoyed it. A couple last things I'll show you that like kind of like spark off the week from the interview or press interviews that I liked. First one up will be Jason who plays Mark. You can see him here, obviously playing himself. But yeah, this is from the interview, and this was his send off. The next person I'm going to show you is Sean Sanders, the man, the myth, the legend. This man is going to be a legend in Buffalo film. I'm telling you right now, and I've got the privilege to work with him several times, and I feel honored. And anybody that works with him knows he is like reliable. He's a great guy, and he likes to collaborate, right? Likes to collaborate. Of course, now we're to our lead actress, Paige Cummings. There she is, got her in a smile while things were going on, while she was doing her interview. And then we'll end on the Will Nemi serious look, is what I like to call it. Right there. The serious look of the Will Nemi. So that brings us to the very, 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 very end, folks. We are just about out of time for today, but I do want to talk about the following. I'm going to go over there now. Indiegogo, we are almost less than $2,000 left on getting our campaign fully funded. Yes, the film has wrapped, but the film is not finished. We have some amazing perks on the website. Just hit it, OMBIS2. You don't even have to spell it Alien Awakening. I'll have a link in the comments. I'm sure I'll have a link attached on the top of this browser as well. But if you believe in indie and you want to give us a shot, we are really trying to create like a Marvel-style adventure. This has several clips on it, interviews, different things, exclusive scenes, behind the scenes. You can get a look at the Nemesis with Beboop. That's what that robot's name is behind him. Beboop. I'm serious. We get to another chance to see Obi in his attire doing something. It looks like he's trying to escape. And you get to see Alex McBride again. And then you get a couple other cool photos. But I don't want to just share it all here because they're always changing. If you ever are interested in seeing it, it's always changing. But we really do need your help. One day this week or very soon, I'm going to give you all a story and see if you can handle it. My life is crazy. And I just want to say I appreciate you all being part of the craziness that is my life. And I look forward to giving you more takes on things. And as I often say, stay scared.